Now, all right, we're on. Right, okay. Right, the Berlin Blockade / Airlift, June 1948 to May 1949. We're going to think as historians, okay? We're going to look at the causes, the events, and the consequences. So let's think. Ideological cause. There's an ideological cause to this. What do you think it is? Communism versus capitalism. That's first and foremost, okay? These two systems simply can't coexist healthily, okay? Communism, as written by our friend, who wrote the theory of communism? Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, but, you know, mainly Marx. Okay, so Marx and Engels, they say that capitalism will eventually be supplanted by communism, that there will be a revolution, etc. So those two governmental systems just can't coexist because communism calls for the radical overhaul and revolution of capitalism. So they're not going to get on. Secondly, we've got different visions of Germany, and this comes down to the significant individuals. So who is the first communist dictator or Soviet premier?
Lenin.
Not well, yeah, Lenin, but on our course that we're looking at. Stalin, yeah. Stop Stalin, people. Anyway, sorry, right, okay. Right. So yeah, Soviet. Anyway, so yes, so Stalin has a vision of Germany. So you've got Stalin's vision. And what was Stalin's vision for Germany? To weaken it. He wanted it to be weak, and he wanted it to be a communist puppet state. Okay? So right. Germany, and when we say Germany, I mean all of Germany, not West Germany, East Germany, all of Germany. Germany would be a weakened puppet state. So that was Stalin's vision. And then we have the leader of the USA, who is Truman. That's Truman. So I've got to get on my jokes. So yeah. Anyway, right. So yes, Truman. So, and Truman's vision for Germany is different. What does he want Germany to be? Strong, free market, capitalist state. Okay. Now, obviously, Stalin's going to be quite scared of a strong, free market Germany, and the reason he's going to be scared of that is because, don't forget, Russia, or the USSR, whatever we're going to call it, the Russian Empire and the USSR. It's been invaded twice by Germany in the last 30 years, and millions of Russians have died, and especially in World War II, like up to 50 million. Yeah, okay, like loads of Russians have died. Okay, loads of Soviets, loads of citizens of the Soviet Union have died. So you can understand. I think it's understandable why Stalin would be quite concerned by this. Right. So we've got an ideological cause, we've got kind of strategic vision causes, and then let's think about what is the spark. What's the short-term cause here? So thinking as a historian. What is the short-term cause / squabble / spark that sets this off? Okay, yes. Yes, it was all about the Deutschmark, okay? So for Truman to have a strong free market Germany, they need to have a strong currency. So Truman wanted the DM to be strong. And what did Stalin want the Deutschmark to be? Weak. Okay, he gets on. Basically, he's creating similar to hyperinflation crises. Okay, in Germany, and so the economy couldn't function. So Stalin kept on flooding the currency. So when Truman started the Deutschmark, he did this without notifying or consulting Stalin that was going to do it. So he did this along with Britain and France, okay? And so that's when the USSR walked out of a four-power meeting on that issue, all right? So Stalin was really angry about this. So because Stalin was angry about this, he's like, right, I'm cutting off access to the city. And in June 1948, he started the blockade, which is why sometimes a lot of people just think of it as the Berlin Airlift, but it's the Berlin Blockade / Airlift, or Berlin Blockade and Airlift. So he started that. Okay. Now, initially, did the American airlift to Berlin go well? No, because he needs to get how many tons of goods into Germany every day? He needs to get 4,000 tons. So initially, he was well below this limit. Initially, Truman only had 1 ton delivered to Berlin, to West Berlin. Right. Now, there's a problem with that. And so you get a black market. If you're not getting enough goods, you're going to get a black market. So what was the kind of currency in Berlin? Because the paper currency wasn't... Cigarettes and prostitution. Okay? It's quite bleak, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite bleak. If you're German at the time, you know, people got incredibly hard choices to make. You know, women were basically put in a position like, my children won't eat if I don't prostitute myself. You know, that's a really horrible position to be in that time. Okay, but there's people that can help, and one of those peoples are the British. Now, why are the British good at helping? How can we help? The RAF. So we've got the RAF, okay, and they send engineers, but not only that. What has Britain been doing during the war?
Rationing.
Rationing, very good. Thank you. So Britain has been rationing, so we can give guidance on how many calories each person needs each day. Yeah. So we've got this expertise on rationing. More than this, they've got experts in their own country. So who's the general that they go to? General William Tunner. There you go. So General Tunner, if it's wrong. Okay, and he's a very good organizer. All right. So how many levels of altitude does he fly his planes on? 5. So he stacks his plane 5 levels high, and you get 5 times as many goods into Berlin every day. So, all right, 5 levels for planes. He also uses a better model of delivery. Okay, so he uses larger levels of delivery. Can we come in? Thank you. I'm doing this. This is going to go out on video. So let's come in. Close the door. Close the door. Right. Thank you. So 5 levels for planes, and the cargo planes which he uses are larger. So he uses. I think it's like C38. I can't remember.
C54, I believe.
Right. C54. Right. Uses larger delivery planes. Okay. So he kind of revolutionizes the effort there. Now there's more. There's something more that we need to talk about. Okay. And this is in terms of event. They win the PR war. Who do they use? Yeah. Gail Halvorsen. Okay. So Gail Halvorsen starts doing something without permission. Okay. He starts doing little candy drops. Okay. So candy. So there you go. There's candy. And candy. And he makes like a little parachute. Oh, I can't really fit my parachute in now, but anyway, just make up that's a parachute. He's doing these candy drops, and what you've got are little kids, little German kids, like, oh yeah, eat like the chocolate. Okay, right, so they're happy because they're getting these candy drops. Tunner hears of this, and he's not angry that he's doing his unofficial candy drops. He's delighted, of course he is. It's a great PR opportunity for the United States because this Cold War, is like the battle's different. It's about public relations. Okay, it's not just about proxy wars. It's not just about spying. It's about influence. Okay, and they were able to influence world opinion by saying, "Look, we're feeding on starving peoples, and look, we're giving chocolate to kids." They look like the good guys, don't they? They are the good guys, aren't they? Like in this case, are they not the good guys?
Yeah. Feeding
the starving populace. Okay, and Stalin was willing to starve out West Berlin. That seems pretty cold, doesn't it? So let's think about the consequences. Okay. So we've got a kind of like immediate short-term in the short term, what mutual defence pact is established in the West? NATO, yes. And this is a month before the end. So in April, NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, an attack on one is an attack on all, is established. And that's pretty important because what has been set there are the future, basically, the border of Europe, really. Not only that, there's another consequence. So even though these happen in the short term, I think they have a longer term impact because NATO still exists today. 2021, NATO still in existence. How's that for a period of continuity? And what happens to the German state? What happens to Germany?
West Germany.
You get West Germany and you get East Germany. So West Germany is established, and then soon after, East Germany is established. And this is a nightmare for England. You know, we get beaten on penalties twice over now. I'm joking. Anyway, so the point is that Stalin's strategy backfired. He wanted Germany. Remember, his strategy at the beginning, he wanted a communist Germany. Now what he's got is a West Germany that's going to be in the ascendancy. West Germany becomes a really successful free market capitalist country. Look at Germany today. Germany's dominating the EU. Germany is a success due to American investment. Whilst East Germany, being smaller and having a smaller population, can never really rival West Germany. Also, a lot of East Germans vote with their feet. They don't want to live in that system. And they go over to West Germany because remember, West Germany has a lot of investment through Marshall Aid. Okay? So they get a lot of dollars there. So going through that quickly, we've gone through the causes, the events, and the consequences of the Berlin airlift. And I want to stop the video. There. Okay. Thank you. Doink and doink.